I am Jaden Fries, Seneca High School alumni and former Seneca Air Force Junior ROTC cadet, and your Master of Ceremonies for this evening. Throughout the ceremony, you will be given various cues to stand and to be seated. As a reminder, civilian guests should place their right hand over their heart during the national anthem. We request that cellular phones be silenced for the duration of the ceremony. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the presentation of the colors for this evening's ceremony. From the cadets from Lenape, Cherokee, and Seneca High School's Junior ROTC programs.
Right, face, forward, march.
And now, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, our nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, I would like to introduce the Lenape Regional High School District Superintendent, Dr. Carol Birnbaum, to kick off this evening's ceremony.
Good job. Good evening. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Lenape Regional High School District Annual Armed Services Award Ceremony. This is one of our most unique ceremonies that we run in the spring, in that in addition to honoring students, which you normally see at our award ceremonies, we think that it's also important to recognize veterans who are alumni, staff, or parents of current students. Before I make my brief remarks to all of our honorees, there are a number of people in attendance that I would like to recognize. I would first like to start by thanking Seneca's alumnus, Jaden Fries, who's being our MC tonight. He's showing us a shining example of how our students are prepared to succeed, and we're very proud of Jaden's accomplishments, both while he was at Seneca and now in the ROTC studying aerospace engineering at Penn State University. Please welcome from the Lenape Regional High School District Board of Education, members here with us this evening. We have Cookie Eslow representing Woodland Township, Joe Barucki representing Evesham Township. We have the Vice President of our Board of Education, Mrs. Paula Lee, and the President of our Board of Education, Mrs. Linda Eckenhoff. I'd also like to recognize our principals in attendance. We have from Lenape High School, Mr. Tony Catani. From Shawnee High School, Mr. Matthew Campbell. From Cherokee High School, we have Mrs. Donna Charlesworth and Mr. Len Ionelli. From Seneca High School, Mr. Jeff Spector. And from Sequoia, we have Mr. Ben Lamberson. And this event takes a tremendous amount of coordination, and I'd like to recognize our Director of Programs and Planning, Mr. Matt Webb, for the outstanding job that he and Pamela Scherf and all the members of the Armed Services Awards Committee have done to organize this event. I'd like to thank Major Michael Borneo, who will be providing our students with wisdom and guidance during his keynote address shortly. And I'd also like to thank Bob Smythe, who is here As a Lenape alumnus, on behalf of the United States House of Representatives, Congressman Tom MacArthur from New Jersey's 3rd District, and I welcome him to the stage for a few brief words.
Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here representing Congressman Tom MacArthur. I'm a former captain in the United States Army and a Lenape graduate, and a few years ago, I got one of those medallions here. Just briefly, I'd like to say, I know some of the students that are on this list, and you know who you are. I just want to say how proud we are of all of the students who have decided to make some type of a military career, whether it's going to an academy or going through ROTC, which I also went through, or enlisting. Congratulations and thank you for doing that. To all the veterans that are here, like I said, I'm a veteran too. I was in Vietnam. I want to thank you for your service also. So again, thank you very much. We're going to be giving out congressional proclamations from Congressman MacArthur to recognize and honor the students. Thank you very much.
And one last special guest before I begin my brief remarks. Mr. Fatale, could you please stand? Can we turn the lights back on? Mr. Fatale, a Southampton resident, is a World War II Navy veteran who served on a submarine in the Pacific during the war. When he learned we were giving our students a proper send-off, he said he wanted to be here, and I quote, honoring these young Americans who will be serving their country. Well, Mr. Fatale, it is us who should be honoring you as a member of the greatest generation who continues to show us what true sacrifice is. Ladies and gentlemen, can we please have a round of applause for Mr. Fatale? Thank you for your service. Thank you. To the honorees, it is a pleasure to have an opportunity to celebrate your accomplishments. Your service and sacrifice, and that of your families, are the main reasons for us to take time tonight to reward and recognize you. In addition to showing our respect to the men and women who make a difference, another goal of this evening is to create a support system for our seniors who will be entering the armed services, military academies, or entering a college ROTC program. Like so many ceremonies, there is a reception afterwards. It's in the cafeteria that way. But rather than just having a few snacks with your family, my hope is that our veterans will be able to connect with our soon-to-be graduates, because you, the veterans, can provide valuable insight for our students and their parents on what they might expect in the upcoming year. As with most of our graduates, it might be the first occasion that they'll be away from their parents for an extended period of time. This is a big change for any high school student. However, tonight's students will have the added pressure of being a part of something much bigger than they have ever been a part of before. Our students will not only be representing themselves when they go out in public, but they are representing their school, their community, and now the United States of America. There will be a newfound responsibility, understanding that individual decisions now impact their unit, their institution, and our country. Veterans, I'm looking to you to provide the insight for our students on how to best handle that new responsibility. Students, you'll be soon joining an elite club which extols leadership and creates men and women who understand there are no obstacles that you cannot overcome. Some of you may spend your entire career in the military and some of you may not. However, I know that whatever endeavor you seek, the common thread that you will share with the other elite club members is that you will be prepared for any obstacle. You will be asked to do things you were never asked to do before, and you will learn that you will be able to accomplish much more than you thought you could ever accomplish. As we approach the end of the school year, the upcoming weeks will be filled with many important ceremonies at award ceremonies like this, leading up to graduation for the class of 2016. But for me, and I'm sure all of you, tonight's ceremony will be the most memorable. I am honored that our students are able to share this evening with each one of our service men and women, whether on active duty in the reserves or at home. Before I bring Jaden Fries back up to the podium, I would like to end with a quote from former President John Fitzgerald Kennedy, which to me justifies the reason why our district takes every opportunity we have to honor our students who will have a future in the military and to thank a veteran. JFK once said, "As we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter words of thanks, but to live by them." I hope this evening shows our communities that we live by our commitment to honor our brave young men and women. So on behalf of the members of Lenape Regional High School District Board of Education and Administration, thank you for your service and thank you for protecting our freedom. And now it is my pleasure to turn the event back over to Jaden, who will introduce our keynote speaker, Mr. Major Michael Borneo. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Burham. At this time, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker for this evening. Michael Bernio is an active duty U.S. Marine Corps major assigned as a military advisor to the Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, Office of the Regional Security and Policy. Prior to this assignment, he served as executive officer for the 2nd Battalion, 1st Marine Regiment. This organization is an infantry battalion and is comprised of 1,300 Marines and sailors. He has deployed the Asian Pacific region of the 11th Marine Expeditionary Unit, planning for contingency operations in Iraq and Yemen to include embassy reinforcement, evacuation, non-combatant evacuation operations, as well as conducting theater security corporation events in Djibouti, Kuwait, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, and Malaysia. He served as the officer in charge of 21-man advisory team in NowZ, Afghanistan, from 2012 to 2013. Advising 3 separate Afghan National Civil Order Police battalions, as well as a battalion of the Afghan National Army. In this billet, he worked shoulder to shoulder with Afghan counterparts, advising them on combat operations, civil-military interactions, counterinsurgencies, and local and area security. In his previous Marine Corps assignments, he has a commander at the platoon and company level, leading organizations from 70 to 250 Marines and sailors. He has deployed abroad ship and ashore 8 times in the Middle East, the Korean Peninsula, Okinawa and mainland Japan, Central Asia, Southeast Asia, Australia, and the Pacific, including 4 combat tours in Iraq and Afghanistan. His staff assignments include serving as an officer in charge of the Tactics, Readiness, and Training section of the 3rd Marine Logistics Group in Okinawa, Japan, where he planned, organized, and supervised the combat arms and the annual training of 3,500 Marines and sailors. He also served as an aide-de-camp to the Commanding General of the Marine Expeditionary Force and the Commander of the U.S. Marine Force, Central Command. During this demanding assignment, he traveled with the General all over the Middle East, coordinating logistics, arranging travel, country clearance and security, and managing the General's schedule. Major Bernio is also a Foreign Area Officer for Southeast Asia. He has traveled extensively throughout Asia and speaks Thai. He lived in Bangkok, Thailand from 2008 to 2009. His education includes a associate degree in Thai from the Defense Language Institution, a bachelor's in art of geography and criminology from the University of Florida, and a master of arts and national security affairs from the Naval Postgraduate School. Major Bernio's personal awards include the Purple Heart, the Navy Marine Corps Commendation Medal with the V, and 3 gold stars, a Navy Marine Corps Achievement Medal with V and 2 gold stars, and a Combat Action Ribbon with a gold star. Ladies and gentlemen, our keynote speaker for this evening, Major Bernio.
That was a great introduction. Thank you very much. All right, when I told my wife I was coming here tonight, she told me 2 things. She said, be short and be funny. And remember, you're not funny. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as I can. All right. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's great to be back in my hometown and an honor to be part of this ceremony. I'd like to thank the faculty and the administration for taking the time to host this event and recognize the hard work and dedication that these fine young leaders have demonstrated over the past 4 years. The education that you all have facilitated here at the Lenape Regional High School District is top-notch and truly has laid the foundation that these men and women will need to be competitive in future endeavors. The path that they will take is a path less traveled, but it leads to wonderful places. I would also like to thank the parents and family members in the audience. Schooling can only imbue so much. The examples you have set, the morals you have instilled, and the support you have and will continue to provide are fundamentally the most important factors that ensure the resiliency required to face the challenges that await. And finally, I would like to take a moment to honor those that have served in the armed forces. I ask that if you have served, are currently serving, or are the spouse or parent of those that have, please stand and be recognized. Thank you all for your dedication and your commitment to the principles of our great republic. I ask that you bear with me for a few moments as I briefly recap my career thus far. My experiences have shaped my views of the world, and knowing where I've been will help you put my thoughts on military service into context. So who am I, why am I here, and more importantly, why should you listen to anything I have to say? Well, I'll let you decide the last one for yourselves, but the rest is easy. My name is Mike Borneo, and I'm currently a major in the United States Marine Corps. I grew up in Mount Laurel, and I'm just like you, only a little bit older. I graduated from Lenape in 1996, 20 years ago next month. Time goes by really fast, so enjoy every moment of your life. While at Lenape, I earned a Marine ROTC scholarship and a track and field scholarship to the University of Florida. Go Gators. I graduated from UF in May of 2000 with a dual bachelor's degree in geography and criminal justice. Upon graduating, I was commissioned as a second lieutenant of the United States Marine Corps. The first stop for all Marine Corps officers is a 6-month school held in Quantico, Virginia, called the Basic School. At this school, Marines learn the fundamentals of leadership, infantry tactics, and to compete against their peers to earn a military occupational specialty. That's a fancy way of saying the job you're actually going to perform. I was selected as an infantry officer. After an additional 10 weeks of arduous training, I was qualified to lead infantrymen, and I received my first set of orders to 1st Battalion, 4th Marines, located in sunny Camp Pendleton, California. That's about an hour north of downtown San Diego. So it was a big change from a guy from Jersey. I was assigned as a platoon commander responsible for leading, teaching, and mentoring 42 Marines that were not much older than I was at the time. The Marine Corps being naval in character, and as such, I was preparing my platoon to deploy on a 6-month deployment aboard ship. We were slated to depart San Diego, traverse the Pacific and Indian Oceans, ultimately making our way to the northern Arabian Gulf, stopping along the way to train and conduct port visits with various partner nations, and to be prepared to respond to any natural disaster, man-made disaster, or other contingencies. The senior Marines, the ones that had deployed before, told me how much fun we were going to have, all the places we were going to go, and all the ports we were going to visit. I was very excited. But then the events of September 11, 2001 occurred, and the plan rapidly began to change. Instead of deploying as planned in January of 2002, we left 3 months early, effectively cutting the time we had to train and prepare in half. Instead of having liberty in cool places like Hong Kong, Thailand, and Australia, we steamed as fast as Navy ships could take us to the coast of Pakistan, where we awaited orders and taskings for Afghanistan. Uncertainty is a common theme in military life. So is fighting with the force you have, not with the force you want to have. That deployment lasted 9 months. When we returned home, all that was in the news was what was going on in Iraq. We were home for less than 5 months. Most of that time was spent in the field training before we were called back early from Christmas leave. On January 6, 2003, I took my 72 Marine platoon, got aboard naval shipping in San Diego, and headed to Kuwait to prepare for the invasion of Iraq. My first combat tour in Iraq lasted 10 months. In that time, we crushed the Iraqi armed forces, captured Baghdad, and then conducted what was then called security and stability operations, basically policing and nation building. We did all this in and around Al-Hilla, Iraq. You probably know it better by its biblical name, Babylon. It was like the Wild West and I was a sheriff. We were literally making up the rules as we went, and to say that the environment was fluid would be an understatement. We got home from that deployment in October and immediately began training for a redeployment. By this time, I was due to rotate to a new assignment. I had received orders to row to Spain to join security forces, and again, I was very excited. But as fate would have it, or at least the Marine Corps, ROTA was not in my future. Because of the reduced timeline between deployments, the battalion would not be getting any lieutenants to replace me, so I had to stick around for a third deployment in as many years. A mere 7 months after getting home, I was back on ship and destined for Iraq. I was absolutely amazed at how much the place had changed. I had just left 7 months, and when I came back, I barely recognized it. The security situation had greatly deteriorated as the disenfranchised male population began to take up arms. The U.S. had dissolved the military, and fighting was all these men knew how to do. The same Iraqis that had cheered us in the street of Baghdad as liberators were now planting roadside bombs trying to kill us. My platoon was heavily involved in combat operations in Najaf and Fallujah. I left Iraq in January of 2004 and took orders to Okinawa, Japan. While I was en route to Japan, a massive tsunami devastated Southeast Asia. By the time I arrived in Japan, my unit had already deployed. So I went to supply, drew my gear, and I was on a plane the next day heading to Sri Lanka and then Thailand to conduct humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. We did that for about 2 months, and then finally I returned to Okinawa to start the job I was sent there to do, supervising and teaching non-infantry Marines to do basic infantry techniques. As we say in the Corps, every Marine is a rifleman. It was my job to turn that bumper sticker slogan into a reality. I loved it because I got to travel all over Asia, setting up and conducting training that would prepare others to deploy to Iraq. As a young captain, I got to tell colonels that their plans were outdated and wouldn't work, and I had the full support of the commanding general to update them. You see, I had the latest and greatest knowledge of the situation in Iraq, and the organization trusted me to redesign how they did business to make them more effective. That is an awesome responsibility, and one that you could find placed on your shoulders in the very near future. That is why it's so vital that you don't waste a moment of your time learning all you can. But more on that later. After 2 years in Japan, I applied for and was accepted into the Foreign Area Officer Program. This program is designed to create officers that have regional expertise so that senior leaders have knowledgeable advisors that can inform their decisions through a religious, cultural, political, economic lens. In order to be qualified to do all this, I got to spend 2 lovely years in Monterey, California, first getting a master's degree in national security affairs from the Naval Postgraduate School, and then spending a year learning to speak Thai. That was literally the hardest year of my life. Afterwards, I spent a year living in Thailand, which was the best year of my life, and traveling throughout East Asia to really learn and understand the nuances of the region. After my year of in-country training was complete, I took orders to lovely 29 Palms, California. If you've never been there, it's in the desert in California. To take command of Alpha Company, 1st Battalion, 7th Marines. This infantry unit had about 230 Marines and sailors, and I was tasked with preparing them to deploy on Marine Expeditionary Unit. After 6 months of training, we deployed for an additional 6 months, conducting exercises in Japan, Korea, Singapore, and Malaysia. While I was deployed, I got promoted to Major and got selected to be an aide-de-camp to the commanding general in charge of all Marines assigned to the west coast of the United States and all Marine Corps forces in the Middle East and Afghanistan, approximately 110,000 Marines. He was a busy guy, and he traveled a lot. I was his shadow. If you've seen the movie The Devil Wears Prada, then you will understand what my life was like for 14 months. I was pretty much Anne Hathaway's character. But the opportunity it provided me to see how a large organization functions and what the role of a leader is in that organization was absolutely priceless. My next assignment put me in charge of a 20-man advisory team that partnered with the Afghan National Civil Order Police in Nowzad, Afghanistan. Nowzad was a completely different world for me. Very remote. The majority of people are illiterate. They've never gone more than 5 miles from their house in their entire lives. And they've been living under the shadow of warfare for the last 40 years. It was very challenging, but working shoulder to shoulder with my brave Afghan counterparts, assisting them to rebuild their country was one of the most rewarding accomplishments of my life. Upon getting back to America, I was assigned to be the executive officer or second in command of 2nd Battalion, 1st Marines. I was in charge of running the staff and coordinating the manpower of a 1,200-person organization. This included another 6-month deployment to Asia and the Middle East, managing a multi-million-dollar budget, liaisoning with higher headquarters, and dealing with legal issues ranging from drug abuse to attempted murder. If I have any gray hairs on my head, it's from my 3 years as an XO. So finally, that brings me to my current assignment as the military advisor to the Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs for the U.S. Department of State. In this capacity, I help coordinate the efforts of the Department of State, the Department of Defense, and other military and civilian agencies to ensure military activity is aligned with current U.S. foreign policy. Working in the interagency has exposed me to the complexity of how the U.S. government functions, and the scope of what we attempt to do with government is truly humbling. I wanted to relate my work experience to you for several reasons. As you have heard, my career has been extremely diverse, and it has been equally unexpected. Originally, I planned on doing 4 years in the military and getting out. I read too many Clancy books and thought I was going to be Mr. Clark and join the CIA or some such thing. I stuck around because I was having fun and I was working with amazing people doing amazing things. I never thought I would work at the State Department, learn to speak Thai, coordinate with Hollywood producers to make a Katy Perry video and an episode of MasterChef, play the role of Douglas MacArthur coming ashore to commemorate the 60th anniversary of the Incheon landing, find $80 million worth of Iraqi gold, true, actually happened, meet 2 US presidents, or even be the quasi-mayor of an Iraqi town. But I did that and much, much more. Oh, the places you will go. You will be challenged, and the better you perform, the more responsibility you will be given. You are the only one that can limit your potential. It's exciting stuff, guys. Your career path may look nothing like mine, but I can promise you that it will be different from what you expect, and it will include things you never thought you would or could do. Keep an open mind and grow where you're planted. I'm a firm believer that there are no bad jobs or bad places. There's only bad attitudes. Every situation is an opportunity to meet new people and learn new skills, and take advantage of those opportunities, and you won't regret it. So that brings me to the crux of why I'm here. I thought long and hard about what I wanted to talk to you about. Information that, looking back, I wish would have been more explicitly clear to me. And I will caveat all this with the honest assessment of myself that I probably wouldn't have listened anyway. Youth and arrogance can be blindingly powerful when combined. Some lessons have to be learned the hard way to be internalized into your personal ethic. But I hope you guys are better than I was, and that some of you can take some of this and make it of use. First off, you are adults, and I will talk to you as such. Your days of being spoon-fed information are numbered. The onus is on you to seek knowledge. Strive to be professional in all that you do. You will constantly be judged and evaluated. The people you lead and your peers will see everything you do, the good and the bad, and they'll follow your example. That being said, don't be afraid of failure. You will fail, and that's okay. If you're not failing from time to time, then you're not pushing yourself hard enough. And if you don't push yourself, then you'll never reach your potential. So how do you learn from failure? The first step is to be brutally honest with yourself and with others. It is my experience that most people are very uncomfortable with this at first. Although a modicum of tact is required, people respect you if you can give and receive constructive criticism. And if they respect you, they will follow you through the gates of hell if that's what's required. Notice I said respect and not like. Leadership is not a popularity contest. You will be called upon to make tough decisions, and not everyone will agree with the calls you make. That's okay too. Have confidence in yourself. Your judgment is one of the most valuable traits you possess. Continually develop it. Believe it or not, you already know what right and wrong look like. You will be getting paid to set the example and enforce standards. Trust your gut. Ultimately, you will be in the business of taking and saving lives. This is serious business, folks. Some of you will be closer to the pointy end of the spear than others, but don't kid yourself. You are embarking on a career where a bad decision could get people killed. And I'm not talking about combat either. In my 16 years of service, I've lost 5 Marines in training accidents, 3 to suicide, 2 to drug overdoses, and 12 to off-duty vehicle mishaps. I don't say this to scare you, but to encourage you to mentally prepare yourself for the challenges that await. As a leader, people will look to you to be the quiet in the storm. Know yourself and know the resources that are available to help. They are plentiful. We have another saying in the Marines: mission first, Marines always. Taking care of your people and accomplishing the mission are not mutually exclusive concepts. But it won't just happen either. You have to make it happen. Leadership is a balancing act that requires practice. Never quit. Training will be difficult, I assure you of that. It's designed to push you to your perceived limits and beyond. However, I'll let you in on a little secret. Time is inevitable. You cannot stop the clock. No matter how bad things seem, eventually they will end. You just need to have the perseverance to endure a little bit of pain. And what is pain but weakness leaving the body? But remember that the most difficult training pales in comparison to what real life will throw at you. I'm not sure what experiences you will have during your military career, but I know that a time will come when you will be tested, and the stakes will be incredibly high. Prepare yourself as best you can and learn how to motivate yourself. When others are becoming internally focused, force yourself to see what is happening around you and make a decision and take action. Others will follow. More importantly, know that stress is self-induced. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter. Easier said than done, I'll give you that, but there are ways you can make this achievable. Your body experiences stress when it's fatigued. Therefore, condition yourself to endure extreme physical stress. The more we sweat in peace, the less we bleed in war. There is no magic light switch you can flip on when you need it. This takes time and must become part of your daily routine. Your mind also experiences stress. This occurs when you are mentally unprepared to handle a situation and your brain is rapidly working to solve the problem. Learn to be comfortable in uncertain environments and learn to embrace the 70% solution. You will rarely have all the information that you need to make an important decision. Use the information you do have available and trust your judgment to fill in the blanks. That is why developing your mind is just as important, if not more so, than developing your body. You can do this through schooling, experience, and self-study. A lot of smart people have written a lot of books about life experiences. Read them. Strive to be the 20-year-old with a 3,000-year-old mind, and you'll find your brain has more tools available to identify and process unfamiliar situations. Be hard men and women prepared to do hard things. Others may not understand why this is necessary, but no one will expect them to be able to do the type of things that will be expected of you. And the last point I want to stress is accountability. Be accountable for your actions. Don't blame other people for your mistakes. The future can be anything you want it to be, but it will require you to figure out what you want to do and then formulate a plan to get there. The choices you make along the way will contribute in a positive or negative way to obtaining your goals. Make the right decisions. Nobody joins the military planning on getting themselves in trouble. That doesn't mean it doesn't happen. And when bad things do happen, there are normally plenty of opportunities along the way where someone could have inserted themselves and broken the chain of events. It requires awareness and moral courage. Instill both of those in yourself and in those you lead. I would be remiss if I did not caution you directly on the most common pitfalls. The overwhelming majority of discipline issues I've observed involve one of a combination of three things. Alcohol is the number one contributor. If you're not 21, don't drink. When you are over 21, if you choose to drink in moderation and always have a plan to get home. Intoxication dramatically increases your chances of making poor decisions, and the effects can be devastating. Number two, drugs. Drugs are illegal. Don't do them. Don't hang around people that do. You will be on a different path than most of your friends from high school. Keep that in mind in the choices you made to serve and the requirements that go along with that when you find yourself visiting old friends. I'm going to make most of those with parents in the audience a little uncomfortable with this last one. Sex. I remember taking high school health class, so I know that you all know that sex can lead to pregnancy. The miracle of life is a wonderful thing, but if you cross that bridge before you're ready, it will change your life forever. Keep that in mind. Also know that intimate relationships must always be consensual, and even if they are, you can still get in trouble if they're between superiors and subordinates. The military takes all of this very seriously, and rightly so. The most important asset we have are the members of the armed forces. Bottom line is, make good choices and avoid having to dig yourself out of the hole. So those are my words of wisdom. I'm extremely excited for you. The adventure you are about to undertake will change your life forever in the best possible way. There's nothing you can accomplish if you have the vision and are willing to put in the work. A wise man once told me, shoot for the stars and you might just hit the moon. Dream big and don't be afraid to be great. Look in the mirror every day and tell yourself how awesome you are. That's not being conceited, it's being confident. And besides, you're from New Jersey, the crown jewel of the Union. So everyone's gonna expect you to be awesome anyway. Go out there and grab the world by the nose and lead us into a brighter tomorrow where anything is possible. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to potentially serving with you guys in the future.
Thank you, Major Bernio. At this time, we would like to take a moment to recognize all active duty, National Guard, reservists, Armed Forces, retirees, and veterans in attendance this evening. We will be playing the Armed Services songs. We ask that you remain standing while the music of your representative branch is played. Thank you. Members of the U.S. military have a long-standing tradition of carrying a special coin symbolizing unit identity and esprit de corps. With bonds forged in battle thousands of miles from home, these customs minted for the military units, each bearing their own revered symbol and mottos, captured in metal the essence of their affiliation and their fierce pride, known to generations of American military personnel as challenge coins. They are a vital part of military life and today are revered by troops in every branch of the service. Today, challenge coins are carried by soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines, as well as lawmen and firefighters. These coins identify the bearer as a member of a particular unit and will define history and mission. While we're getting situated, please enjoy a short student-created Junior ROTC promotional video.
I wanted to find myself.
I wanted new experiences.
I wanted to challenge myself.
I wanted to become disciplined.
I wanted to leave behind a legacy.
I wanted to become more motivated.
I wanted to become self-confident.
I wanted to be part of a team. I wanted to be part of something greater than myself.
NJROTC is more than just a class. It's a path to honor, courage, and commitment.
I joined.
I joined.
I joined.
We became leaders.
First, we will honor the Lenape Regional High School District students who have committed to the branches of armed services after graduation. Their names will be read in alphabetical order by birth order of school. We'll start off with Lenape. Raymond Buckus, United States Marine Corps. Brian Betts, United States Army ROTC Scholarship to Norwich University. Dylan Gladwell, United States Marine Corps. Cynthia Martinez, United States Marine Corps. Shawnee. Jeffrey Amizio, New Jersey Armed National Guard. Charles Howard V, New Jersey Air National Guard. Zachary Rosen, United States Navy ROTC at University of Virginia. Daniel Scannell, United States Navy. Joshua Walton, United States Naval Academy. Cherokee. Kelsey Adam, United States Merchant Marine Academy. Connor Cosgrove, United States Air Force Academy. Atreo Coley, United States Coast Guard. Zachary Ellis, United States Navy. Michael Evans, United States Marine Corps. Jose Fraley, United States Coast Guard. Justin Keller, Penn State Navy ROTC. Andrew Kim, United States Marine Corps. Eli Mitchell, United States Army. Stephen Cherini, New Jersey Air National Guard. Seneca. Tyler Barton, United States Air Force ROTC, Norwich University. Alex Funches, United States Coast Guard Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, let us have one more round of applause for our graduating seniors and future servicemen and women. Now we are going to recognize district alumni, current and past employees, and parents of students for their service. Dennis Berniot, United States Navy. Robert Cherry, United States Navy. Sarah Janet Conrad, United States Army. Rafael Enkis, United States Air Force. Patrick Kennedy, United States Air Force. Timothy Kennedy, United States Air Force. Jennifer Myers, United States Air Force. Kim Mortine, United States Air Force. Eric Otel, United States Navy. James Rinbar, United States Air Force. Greg Fisher, United States Air Force. Richard Sandon, United States Navy. John Toner, United States Air Force. John Walton, United States Army. Ladies and gentlemen, let's have one more round of applause for all our servicemen and women. It has been an honor to serve as your Master of Ceremonies for tonight's events. I would now like to take a moment to reflect on my junior ROTC experience and how it prepared me for collegiate level ROTC. I am currently involved in the Air Force ROTC and studying aerospace engineering at Penn State University. For the duration of my 4 years at Seneca High School, I was involved in the Air Force Junior ROTC program. I had the honor of holding several leadership positions during my time. With each opportunity, it enabled me to gain unique leadership and teamwork abilities beyond what the classroom had to offer. Junior ROTC at Seneca taught me accountability, persistence, and resilience, all of which are now key characteristics of my being. However, tonight I want to talk about the more subtle skills I developed and proved to be pivotal in my success in both the classroom and a cadet at Penn State. The first of these is to keep your composure. As young ladies and gentlemen before you will soon realize, from day one, military training will involve stressful and pressurized tasks. Junior ROTC forced me to step out of my comfort zone and develop a tolerance to these stressful situations. At the time, I did not realize how significant having that kind of experience would be. In the fall of my freshman year of college, my commander was continually challenging my confidence and commitment. Because of junior ROTC, I was able to remain steadfast, focused, and disciplined. My end-of-the-year review reflected this ability and recognized my resilience in training. In addition to composure, the other impactful quality I obtained was leadership. Armed Forces training demands that you become a salient and effective leader. In junior ROTC, I was promoted to the Corps Commander. This was one of the first times I was truly in a major leadership position. This was a crucial learning opportunity for me, and it was stressful and uncomfortable at times. But it provided me with an invaluable experience. It allowed me to seize, in collegiate level ROTC, it allowed me to seize opportunities my fellow classmates hesitated at. I was only able to do this because of the confidence I gained in junior ROTC. Whether you're away at basic training or joining collegiate level ROTC, you'll be placed in challenging situations. But in these moments, recall the lessons junior ROTC has taught you. If you do so, there is no doubt that you will succeed. I wish all of you the best of luck and thank you for your courageous choice at becoming a part of the United States Armed Forces. Let's have another round of applause.